Take one of Lou making cookies. Lou, how do you think these cookies are going to turn out? Do you think they're going to turn out pretty good? Hands up for turning out good. You just ignoring me? Okay. Hi everybody, welcome back from your short little vacation, your 4-day weekend. I hope you got outside this weekend. I don't know what day it was, but I think it was either Thursday or Friday. I was outside and I actually got a sunburn. So on a side note, make sure you're wearing your sunscreen. I did not know during this time that I would get a sunburn, and I kind of forgot to wear sunscreen. Okay, so for this week, we are going to be, by request, making cookies. I am actually going to be making toffee cookies. They are my favorite. Cookies are definitely my second favorite dessert. My top favorite is donuts. I could eat donuts every single day of the week, every morning, every night, every lunch. They are definitely my favorite. But cookies come in second. So here I have all of my ingredients ready. I kind of got prepared to make sure that I had everything because I am pretty prone to starting something and then realizing halfway through that I don't have something. Okay, so there's my ingredients. I already have softened my butter. My recipe, I'm just going off one-off line. It called for 3/4 cups of butter. So I put it in here and softened it in the microwave. I actually used a bowl. I didn't put it in the microwave. I promise I wouldn't do that. But put it in my bowl, and now the trick I always say to making a really, really good cookie is to make sure that your butter is 1, softened, and 2, that you cream it for a long time. So what that means is with your mixer, you're going to want to mix it for quite a bit of time to make sure that it is fluffy and creamy. Okay, so I'm going to start doing that, and then we will follow the rest of the recipe. Okay, so now that my butter has been creaming for a little while, I am going to add in the white sugar. And then I am going to add, well, first I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to go get the brown sugar ready. Then I'm going to add the brown sugar in there too. Okay, so I packed my brown sugar in my measuring cup. Little fun fact for you, if you didn't know why you pack brown sugar, it's because brown sugar has molasses in it. So if you didn't pack it, there would be like little air pockets in there, so you wouldn't have the right measurement. Where white sugar is free flowing, there's no added substance that's sticky, so it free flows in there. So brown sugar, you always have to pack to the top. White sugar, you just use a spatula or a knife and you kind of go over the top to make a flat surface. Okay, so I'm going to cream this in there for another few minutes, and then we will add our other ingredients. Okay, so I grabbed 2 bowls because next I'm going to add the eggs, and it calls for actually 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. So to do this, I'm just going to crack this egg and put a whole egg in there. And then I'm going to take this egg and go over this other bowl first. And if you don't have a cool tool, all you have to do is just kind of switch the egg back and forth between the shells to get all of the yolk out, and then just pour, or all of the white out, and then just pour your yolk in there. Okay, so the reason that I did this in bowls and not just on top of my regular mixer is because when you have eggs, sometimes you can get the shells in there, which you don't want to be crunching on a shell in a cookie. That would not be very fun. Or sometimes you actually do get a bad egg. I've heard about people finding some interesting things in their eggs. So now, being I have this already, I am going to pour this into my mixer. And I also added into my mixer, I'll pull this back up for you guys so you can see it. I also added in here my 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Okay, now being that is all mixed together, I am going going to actually grab all of my dry ingredients. So I have baking soda, salt, flour, and that should be it. So I will come over here and I'm going to put it in another bowl first and then combine it in this bowl and then pour it over into my other bowl. That is something that I don't really believe that you always have to do. It's just what a lot of people recommend that you do. Let me check my recipe to see how much flour I need. Okay, so we're going to use 2 1/4 cups of flour. So I'm going to push this up to 2 cups. Open up my flour. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I fill it to the top, and then I'm going to sweep over the top. Let all the rest fall in there. I'm going to switch hands to shake out that hand. So I'm going to put 2 cups in there, and then I still need that 1/4 cup, so I'm going to push this back up to 1/4, and do the same thing. And I am just realizing that I just put that in the mixer. So we're just going to put the rest in the mixer too. We're going to forget about this bowl for the second. Oh, that's funny. I make mistakes too baking. As long as we have the right amounts, we're all good. Okay, so next I am going to add my baking soda. So I'm going to grab, if you didn't know, the little spoon in your drawer is a teaspoon. And the big spoon in your drawer is a tablespoon. They'll measure out kind of the same as if you use little measuring spoons. So I'm going to measure this over. The reason they say not to measure over a bowl is if you spill any extra, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, next I'm going to put my salt in there. So I'm going to measure out a tablespoon of salt too. Some people actually don't like salt in their cookies, so they just take this out because they don't like that flavor. Oh my gosh, 10 years later, I might have salt to fill my teaspoon here. Oh. Okay, well, add the salt. I gotta let Lou out here to go to the bathroom. I guess he just wanted to bark at something and not go out. Okay, so now being I added those things in, I'm going to put my mixer back up and I'm going to mix this together. But I'm going to go slow first and then I'll speed it up. Just to make sure flour doesn't go everywhere. Okay, so now that I have all of that mixed together, I am going to grab my toffee bits. And I'm going to pour the whole bag in there. It calls for 8 ounces. Okay, now being those are mixed up, I'm gonna go clean up my counter and make room so that I can put a few trays on there, and I will meet you back over there to lay out the cookies. Okay, so I have my cookie sheets out. I cleaned up my whole area. Now I'm going to grab parchment paper. This stuff is a little big, but it works still. I really like the ones that fit your sheets better. Okay, so I'm going to lay those down. Then I'm going to grab my cookie dough, and I have actually a pretty big scoop. I am going to scoop out my cookies. I will probably only do 3 across, being I'm making bigger cookies. Okay, so my cookies are out of the oven. I'm actually going to, I like my cookies really soft on the inside and almost a little bit doughy. So what I do is take them out a little bit early. They cooked for 9 minutes, I think. And then I pulled them out. So I am going to leave them on the pan just to make sure that the bottoms get cooked enough so that I can take a spatula and plate them up. So I'm going to give them a few minutes, and then I will be back to plate them. Okay, so I'm actually just going to grab a big Rubbermaid because I am sending these with my boyfriend to take to work tomorrow. So, it's kind of difficult. Okay, I'm going to set that over there. I am just going to take these and place them in here. And I'm going to move these over, because what I always do is I always just reuse this parchment paper. And I'll just rip it. I think that'll be a big enough square. And I will use that to put in between the cookies so that they do not stick together. Still let these cookies cool just a little bit. I'm going to wash my pans, get all my dishes washed, and those will be ready to go for tomorrow morning. I am so excited to see what kind of cookies you guys decide to make. Remember, if you do not have the supplies to make the cookies, you can always follow along with the sheets. You never have to actually make the food if you don't have the supplies ready. But if you do, I suggest making cookies because they're awesome. They're the best to eat. Have a wonderful week. I'll probably be back on video again another day showing you how to do some of the assignments for the week. But other than that, I will see you back for cooking the